It's only terrible to have nothing to wait for. Life did not intend to make us perfect. Whoever is perfect belongs in a museum. We have our dreams because without them we could not bear the truth. It is very queer that the unhappiness of the world is so often brought on by small men. We were all at once terribly alone, and alone we must see it through. Strange how complicated we can make things just to avoid showing what we feel. I wandered through the streets thinking of all the things I might have said and might have done had I been other than I was. Why does a man live? In order to think about it. Modesty and conscientiousness receive their reward only in novels. In life, they are exploited and then shoved aside. Courage is the fairest adornment of youth. It was a melancholy secret that reality can arouse desires but never satisfy them. We have so much to say, and we shall never say it. I want to think, and at the same time, that's the last thing in the world I want to do. Never do anything complicated when something simple will serve as well. It's one of the most important secrets of living. No soldier outlives 1,000 chances, but every soldier believes in chance and trusts his luck. Kaczynski says, it is all to do with education. It softens the brain. For a moment, I had a strange intuition that just this, and in a real, profound sense, is life, and perhaps happiness even, love, with a mixture of sadness, reverence, and silent knowledge. Our knowledge of life is limited to death. Come, let me kiss you. Life was never so precious as today, when it meant so little. Everyone saves someone at least once, just as he kills someone at least once, even though he may not know it. Sweet dreams through the guns are booming. Good or ill, life is life. You only realize that when you have to risk it. The things men did or felt they had to do. You take it from me, we are losing the war because we can salute too well. Anything you can settle with money is cheap. It's no shame to be born stupid, only to die stupid. I am a modern man with a strong tendency to self-destruction. But that's what mankind is like. They only prize what they no longer possess. The coffin, it shall protect me, though death himself lies in it. Someone said to me once that a cigarette at the right moment is better than all the ideals in the world. Nothing is the mirror in which you see the world. We were 18 and had begun to love life and the world, and we had to shoot it to pieces. Love should not be polluted with friendship. What is leave? A pause that only makes everything after it so much worse. What comfort there is in the skin of someone you love. No soldier outlives 1,000 chances. The train goes slowly. From time to time it stops so that the dead can be taken off. It stops a lot. No matter how improbable an assertion is, if it is made with enough assurance, it has an effect. Suddenly, he knew all the things he should have said. Light doesn't shine in the light, it shines in the dark. The more primitive a man is, the better he believes himself to be. Human beings are a much worse poison than schnapps or tobacco. One always expects something else. What use is it to him now that he was such a good mathematician at school? Serenity, the calm daughter of tolerance. State and home country, there's a difference. I tell you this, it is the most despicable thing of all to drag animals into a war. Give 'em all the same grub and all the same pay, and the war would be over and done in a day. My rage outweighs my shame, as always happens when one is really ashamed and knows he ought to be. There was too little solid ground under one's feet. Keep things at arm's length. If you let anything come too near, you want to hold on to it, and there is nothing a man can hold on to. One thing is enough to test the honesty of a woman and a friend, and that is money. But probably that's the way of the world. When we have finally learned something, we're too old to apply it, and so it goes, wave after wave, generation after generation. No one learns anything at all from anyone else. Life is a disease, brother, and death begins already at birth. Every breath, every heartbeat is a moment of dying, a little shove toward the end. That is the remarkable thing about drinking. It brings people together so quickly, but between night and morning, it sets an interval again of years. I am thinking of those strange moments when unexpectedly a kind of second sight, like a deceptive memory, seems suddenly to give us glimpses of many earlier lives. I always thought everyone was against war, until I found out there are those who are all for it, especially those who do not have to go there. Today, the aggressor is the shepherd of peace, and the beaten and hunted are the troublemakers of the world. What's more, there are whole races who believe it. I don't know what it is. I simply can't stand it. It's like a hand reaching out of the dark. It is fear, blind fear, as if it were lying in wait somewhere for me. Someday, perhaps our time will be known as the age of irony, not the witty irony of the 18th century, but the stupid or malignant irony of a crude age of technological progress and cultural regression.